Finally, Movie Maker plays this video. For some reason, when I'm going through this editing, sometimes Movie Maker plays the video, other times it doesn't. It's really annoying. But no worries. I got it to work this time. This won't stop me the rate of videos that will be uploaded anyway. I plan to upload at least 4 or 5 of these a day. Now, obviously, yesterday I couldn't. I was hanging out with my friends all day. Went bowling, a lot of other fun stuff. So, that was a lot of fun. And here we are with the Panzer III. This is a sick tank. This is another round that proved to me that this is the tank to have for Tier 5. I wouldn't want any other tank for Tier 5. It just suits my playstyle very well. It's a medium tank that drives like a light tank and has the armor of a medium tank. I mean, how can you go wrong? Also, since we're here, shout out to my buddy hockeyrocks and the Panzer III Osf. I feel your pain, my man. I hated that tank. It sucks donkey dick. And shout out to my other buddy here, what was it, Zach 02856. He was on the artillery. He did a good job with that. He saved my butt quite a few times in this round. He also helped by killing enemies that were being camping little twats in the rocks that I couldn't exactly get a shot at, because they had the high ground and there was cover. Only problem is the rocks don't cover your roof, so all it takes is one decent artillery battery to dump on your day. So it was pretty fun. So here, this actually is not a bad flank to go on. You need a pretty fast tank to do it, but it helps to push up early and before enemies start getting dug in here, because if they get dug in here, you need to use a lot of artillery to get them out. It's very annoying. So, we come into some contact in a little while, just carefully moving up through here. I don't want to be too fast, because then that'll be easier to detect. I'm just keeping it in roughly 3rd gear. I'm counting the gear shifts in my tank. Yes, I'm that nerdy. Not really, although people like to think I am. Start running into contact. The enemies love to camp in the rocks up here. Yep, there's one of them. There's another one. Artillery gets on them pretty fast, but the enemy tanks can quickly reverse hard. I was thinking of getting hit on that one tank, but I couldn't do much, so I'll just mark them to be shot at by the enemies. And actually, I think there's a martyr who's on my right. I end up killing him later. Let me see. I think of killing the M8. I think that's either an M8 or an M3 Stewart or something. Ah, there's the martyr. I send a random shot his way to get him scared, so he'll think that there's a threat here, so he'll turn his guns and relocate, often in a very disadvantageous way. And this tank here, in the side armor, he is hit, and he's tracked. And then I might as well just finish him off. There we go. You gotta be careful when you're using a light tank against a medium tank for the circle of death, because not all medium tanks have bad turret traverse speeds, especially not the Panzer III. This baby's got 53 for a turret traverse speed, which is awesome. That's the fastest turret traverse speed I've ever seen in any tank in my garage. And I take a shot at that enemy tank. One, because I can't really move and I have good accuracy anyway. There's the Martyr 2. He's running. Unfortunately, he runs into my sights. I just promptly kill. Now, I do shots like that. I got in the Martyr 2. I do shots like that quite often now. I was just beginning to experiment with it in this video. It's okay to fire from and shoot from 3rd person at medium long range like that. At long range, unless you're shooting a really big tank like a Mouse or a Tiger 2 or an E100, you're better off aiming down the sights. I really hate to say that, but certain tanks, you gotta hit them in the right places, like the T-29, the T-32, you gotta hit them in the side and rear hull armor. Don't bother shooting them anywhere else, because you're not gonna penetrate them. So, words from the wise. So anyway, here, I realized that the flank I did there, I did as much as I could, so I'll head back and regroup with some other guys, and we'll hit them hard on our right flank, if you're looking at the enemy base from our base. So that's just for reference. Just goes to show how fast this tank is as well, by the way. Notice how, even with 1 damage track, this thing still gets up and moves. It doesn't wait around. So that's because I do consider myself to be pretty impatient when I'm playing this game. I don't like waiting around, and I view camping as a very cheap tactic. I mean, obviously with artillery, you have to stop to fire. I haven't seen anybody fire a shot while moving and actually hit somebody. If I have, then I must have forgotten. I don't think I would, though, because that's a pretty noteworthy event. It's a nice vivid picture in your mind. Almost like a random nade kill in Call of Duty. Anyway, I'm just coordinating with some teammates here, because they can use some help on that flank, because the artillery on the enemy team, they have a whole bunch of spotting light tanks in the hills, or medium tanks. They're light medium tanks, if you get my drift. They're not very well armored or well armed, they're just really fast. So I'm going to head on over there. I have no trouble mopping them up. It also helps that I have good artillery on my team, because I can't engage 2 tanks on 2 different sides of a hill at once. I mean, I'm good, but I'm not that good. So, you'll see what I mean by having good teammates here. I mean, you don't need very many good teammates either to have a good round. I just need 2 or 3, at the most. Even just 1 really good player on my team, and if I just work with them, we're good to go. There's a Panzer II. I don't know if that was what Zach was driving. He was in a good position, though. I couldn't tell whose name was on that tank. We'll see. Yeah, because I hear from the teammates that the enemy artillery is just crapping on us. So I think, well, hey, I'm faster than most tanks on our team. I don't think they'll be able to hit this thing very easily, and that was actually the case. And here, this is when I began to practice doing shooting and moving. Now, that might not seem very significant at first, but the practice I underwent here really helped. Also, what's nice about the Panzer III-4, its hull armor is 60mm on the front and on the sides, so you can show your sides to the enemies and make a quick run for an enemy. See, there I'm trying to confuse them. I didn't know. I was trying to see which one they would come after me. And teammate on the... I can't even tell. That might have been artillery, killed the enemy tank. And I'm going to flank around and kill that other enemy tank. I don't want to leave him as a spotter. And I'm glad I turned back around to kill this tank. You will see why. Because by the time I start shooting, the enemy artillery is already on me. So I have to more or less do damage control. There we go. See, there I have to learn to compensate for the hills. I should have aimed a little bit higher. And the tank dies. But he also spotted me, so you'll see some artillery shells come screaming in very short. Yep, here it comes. I'm pretty freaked out at this point. They're already just opening up. But, because the Panzer III-4 is such a fast little speed demon, you can escape. That's what's awesome. The game really, really, really caters to aggressive players. You just have to use your terrain properly. See there, now they already has no spotter. They're powerless. They have no idea where I went. They can only guess. And yes, something funny happens with the enemy artillery. He tries to go... I don't even know what he tries to do. He was in a grill, and I think he was trying to just race car through me or zoom past me, even though my turret traverse speed was way higher than his tank's movement speed. It was really funny. You'll see it. It's coming up. I just crap on the grill. It's hilarious. I mean, not for the tank that was on the receiving end, of course, but for me, oh, that was comedic gold. And I believe, yeah, this is when Zach helped me out a lot, because there's a camping D2. He's coming up. Yeah, right there. And I think, oh, let's just shoot the turret. French tanks don't usually have very good turret armor. Also, the upper, like, rear rack, yeah, right there. That's a good hit. And then Zach finishes him off. That was a very good kill. That was some good teamwork there. Medium tanks and artillery working together are pretty freaking good. So then there's... I'm just talking to the team and saying there are only a couple enemy tanks left. They're going to have to do something very, very crazy if they want to win this. And they end up going for our main base, so... You know, I do what I can, and my buddy Zach, and I believe Hockey's still alive, so we do what we can to contain the damage. I mean, we'll at least make it a Pyrrhic victory. We had more kills at the end of the game than the enemies did, and I'm fine with that. Yeah, there's an AMX. Don't worry, AMX, you'll get to the battlefield someday. Shout out to any AMX players out there. The early AMX 38s and 40s, they are really well armored, but they're so slow. Oh my god. And actually, you wonder why I turn around? I just want to make sure my teammates are in good cover before I swing back up the hill. It also helps because I need to accelerate, because that's a much steeper hill than it looks. And if I'm going to be rushing artillery, I want to make sure I can get up the hill with some speed and still maintain some speed going into them. Because speed is this tank's best friend. It thrives off of it. And no, I'm not talking about the drug, although some people may think that because I talk really fast. Anyway, this is when it gets funny. The girl's thinking, oh god, here comes the Panzer III-4, here comes Unit 15, he's going to rip my virgin butthole apart. And that's just what I do. I hit him once, and I don't even know what he's trying to accomplish here. Fail. Oh god, I'm just messing with him at this point. There's another match I have here later when the grill tries to outrun. Oh, here it comes, here it comes, here it comes. Here comes the other grill. Oh god, he tried to outrun. I don't even... Why didn't he just stop behind the grill teammate? He might have been able to lob a shot at me. I don't even know. That was just hilarious. I was laughing like a freaking maniac at that. I was cackling wildly at the grill's stupidity. So at this point, I talked to teams and saying, well, look, I can go for the base, and either you guys can come help me, or we can damage the enemy tank. Either way, we just need to make the call quickly. And I believe some allied tanks come up here to help me, because there's no way in heck they'd get back to the base in time, or at least get into a good firing position, because we don't even know where that Panzer IV is. He's probably moving around. That Panzer IV is no idiot. He knows exactly what we're up to. So, you know, I'll just let the video play for a while. So you can see my allied artillery battery slowly trudging up the hill. That's one problem I have with artillery. It's a very good role if you're good at it, but it doesn't really react to changes in the battlefield, because we didn't really expect the enemy to get to the base in time, because the Panzer IV isn't as fast as the Panzer III IV, and he had to go all the way around the right flank. The enemy's right flank, I meant. So, you know. Alright, I see the Panzer IV. That was quite the rounds. I enjoyed the challenge. You're definitely a worthy opponent for me, so props to you, buddy boy. Enjoy the Invader Award. You definitely earned it. And the base is about to fall. You know, we did what we could. What can I say? I can't complain. That was quite the fun round. And then the round ends. There we go. It's actually interesting. The Panzer IV and my tank each had 4 kills. That's just weird. That doesn't usually happen. And actually, he was the only tank alive on the enemy team. So in terms of kill rate, our team was superior. See, there we go. There are the stats. 4 enemy tanks killed, 1 enemy tank damaged, and 5 tanks discovered. Pretty freaking awesome, if I do say so myself. This was a ton of fun to commentate and play. So be sure to expect more of these intensely fun World of Tanks videos in the future. I won't stop making these anytime soon. That's a promise.